What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. It is the Thursday episode of the Crawford Chronicles. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm one of your hosts, PK, and as always, we have Homer Chris. Sweet Bee Bones Bryles has graciously presented himself to us right on time, right before we got on live. So, Bryles,
He's
thank
trying to
you,
say I'm
sir,
late.
for coming in. How y'all doing, guys?
Oh man, I'm doing great. It is good to be back. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys holding it down. Yeah, I figured that Sunday's episode probably wouldn't be too good for me to sound like a 13-year-old boy going through puberty with my voice cracking and stuff like that. So, looks like the voice is coming back just in time for Sunday's game for me to probably lose it again. Besides that, hey, we got spring training games underway. We got a very busy weekend coming up with our opening day. But besides that, man, Browse, how's your week going?
busy as always. But yeah, this one, like you nailed it, man. It's been busier than normal with opening day coming up for League City Little League. We've been doing a lot of planning for that, which is why I was putting us just a couple of minutes behind tonight. But yeah, I'm glad to see you're feeling a little bit better, especially from the last practice we had. And you were like,
Yeah.
oh yes, hey, we're going to two. Going to two.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you're sounding a lot better. But PK, how's your week been, man?
Man, it's been busy at work, but it's okay, man. It's better than being slow, especially in our business. But yeah, I'm good, man. The weekend's here. Ashland's played 4 games in 3 days. We're gonna get into that here in a minute. But yeah, let's do it, dude. I'm ready to do this episode. Glad to have all three of us back. And so let's start with let's see what's the date? Today is 20. What's today?
26.
26.
So we had 4 games today. We had four games in the last few days. We had a split squad game yesterday. We can start with today because it was probably the highest, obviously the most recent one, but it kind of got off to a not so good start with Imai taking the hill. Right, we've all been waiting for him to to put on the Nationals uniform, get on the hill, see what we got in spring. And Marcus Semien, drills him in the shin with the line drive up the middle. Right now, Imai stayed in and completed the inning. But that was basically it for him today. So I think he went like 1 inning, 10 pitches. I think his fastball got up to like 95, 96, throwing some gas. So we'll look for him to kind of bounce back. I don't think it's anything serious. Definitely, I think Espada said he's going to be sore for the next few days, right? I mean, you take a 98-mile-an-hour ball off your shin, it's going to hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? So, but he was bringing it today, so it's really cool to see him out there. Can't wait for his next outing. They do drop the game. Today. Okert didn't have a good day. I'll tell you that. We're gonna get into this other guy too. Miguel Uola is not looking good. We're gonna get into all this, but he is not looking good. And Costanza, we're gonna get into that also. Costanza did not have a good outing. But guys, for the quick outing that Imai had, what did you see? What did you like in that 1 inning of work that he did?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as what, I think the anticipation for his spring debut is pretty much probably could have went. I mean, I think the only way that I would say is if it could have went better is if he didn't take the line drive off the leg, but it was good to see him stay in. I think he got a double play at the end of the inning. And I'm 150% okay with the spot of saying, okay, you know what, you're done. I'm okay with the more cautious approach the way especially last season, but if you look at the last 2 seasons as far as pitchers go and injuries, I mean, so I'm glad everybody was okay. But of course, freaking Marcus Semien, man, like we're still getting God, stay in your lane. He should be in Arizona right now. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but golly, bro. But yeah, I mean, I know the game wasn't televised. I know Astro Sleeper, hooked a lot of people up by providing the link for people that were able to watch him pitch. I didn't get a chance to watch him pitch, but everything I read, I mean, as long as he's okay, and again, man, it's about getting his work in and entering the start and leaving the start, as healthy as possible. So I'll go ahead and hand it over to Browse.
Yeah, no, I agree. Err on the side of caution, especially with your new acquisition and his first time pitching in the major leagues. So yeah, obviously today didn't go the way he wanted, but Espada did the right thing. So I'm totally good with it as well. The one thing I will bring up though about Imai is we did get a pretty good report on his first live BP that he threw to our squad, and it sounded like he got the best of Jake Myers, who rolled into a ground play or a ground ball play, and then same thing with Altuve. Altuve only saw 2 pitches before he rolled one over. And then he proceeded to strike out the next 3 batters that we had coming up after that. So he looked good. When they interviewed Altuve, he said that slider that he threw, he hadn't seen anything quite like that before. And from what I'm to understand, his curveball also is like a reverse breaking curveball. So I haven't had a chance to see it yet. But if he's going to be throwing something like that, then he's going to have a lot of hype and he's going to get a lot of swings and misses on it as well. Because you're not going to see a whole lot of that in Major League Baseball right now. But, as far as today is concerned, yeah, that's fine. He got out of the inning. Go put him on the bench. We've still got a ton of pitchers that we've got to sort out. And, as far as some of these other guys not doing so well, and I know that we are going to get into it, just keep in mind, guys, spring training. Nobody wins spring training and then goes on and says, all right, we won spring training. Now we're going to win the World Series. That's just not quite how it works out.
I feel like the Mariners would do that, though.
That sounds like, or the Cubs.
That's fair.
Sounds like
That's fair.
I feel like the Mariners
That's fair.
would hang a banner for that.
Or the Rangers. Definitely the Rangers too.
But I think definitely Seattle, though, for sure. I feel like Seattle would do it. Okay, I want to go back to the reverse curveball. How? So is that a screwball? I mean, that's something I can think of.
Yes. So your traditional curveball from a right-hander will break, I guess, away from the hitter, depending on. Now you have different types of curveballs too. Now we're not going to get into baseball.
12-6, 1-8, all
but
that.
A screwball is your traditional. Like if you look up the definition of a baseball screwball, it'll tell you traditionally it breaks the opposite way than your traditional curveball would. So I guess you could say it's a screwball, which is not real common to see pitchers these days throw.
I mean, it'd be cool to see though. I mean, better have some movement if you're going to throw that thing like, middle in and have it break, at their, back to their back hip. You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe we can see him pitch the next outing.
Well, I think the next televised spring training game is going to be the 4th.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be next Wednesday.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Next Wednesday.
Overall
today, today was 2 games, I believe. Yes. Today was 2 games. So you dropped the game to the Mets. Offense was not present today. You only had 2 hits. Pena got 3 at bats. He struck out twice. Trying to go through most of the other guys. Correa had 2 at bats, 2 Ks. Christian Walker was 0 for 2. Loperfido 0 for 2. Cam 0 for 3 with 2 Ks.
2 strikeouts. Yeah.
Yeah. So offensively, not a good day. But again, like Bryce was saying, it's spring. We're not winning the spring unless you're Seattle, right? So, I mean, look, get out there healthy. The thing that we knew all the injury crap that we had last season, and then that was definitely a scary moment today, right? With Imai taking that ball off the shin. I mean, that is not how you would want to start the spring, how you want to start his career with the organization. So, thankfully everything looks okay for right now. Soreness, and he'll be ready to go for the next one. Look, Okert pitched today. Brian King pitched today. Blue Ball pitched today. Ryan Weiss, some first.
Yeah, we looked pretty good today.
He got some action, 2 1/3. What do you have here? 2 1/3, 1 hit, 2 walks. Blue Ball, 2 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 2 Ks. Brian King, 1 inning. Okert, he took the L today. 1 inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He gave the home run to Simeon, I'm assuming it looks like, and a walk. So still working on stuff, right? I mean, Okert King, we talk about Blue Ball all the time. He should be vying for the 5th or 6th spot potentially. But he sure was good at that long relief at the end of the season, right? So, you know what you're going to get from those guys. The Ryan Weiss, that's a good start for him, or good, not start, but good appearance, right? Good appearance. So you got anything else on this one? We can move on to the old split.
Yeah, real quick. Was this the game where was this the Walker Yana game? or was that the other side of the split?
That is the
squad.
split. The split. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, real quick to wrap up this game. Again, I understand it's spring training, but I would like to see either Loper Fido or Cam Smith, kind of start putting the ball in play and not see so many strikeouts. But again, I'm not going to trip. It's the fourth game of spring training, so I mean, it's just one of those things you look at, and they're both sporting. I think they've played in multiple games now, so it's just I'm kind of hopefully they'll get a batting average here soon.
Let's see. Loper Fido is 250 and Smith is
he?
at 333.
That's with
today's
average?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. That was OPS.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say. All right, that's fine.
Oopsies.
All right, let's get to the flip side of the split
All right, so split game. Let's see who started here. Lambert started. Colton Gordon, he had a blown save. Uola, a blown save. And then Willingham took the loss, right? So, but the thing about this one was Walker Yannick.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
That's the thing about this game. The dude, and I posted it or I made the comment whenever I posted the link for tonight's episode. Is Walker Yannick going to be this year's Cam Smith? Right? Maybe not so much in the sense of he earns his, major league roster spot, but as far as the production that not so much come out of nowhere because he was trending up to end last season, right? Walker was, but I mean he's ripping the cover off the ball so far. So will he be this year's Cam?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a really good chance. I mean, because it's still kind of two different situations. I mean, Cam Smith came over in obviously the Tucker trade, a lot of hype. He immediately became our number one prospect. And then just the first game he had, I think he hit 2 home runs against the Mets. I mean, so the hype was definitely there. And then with him, there was an outside shot because your outfield was kind of basically set, but there was still a chance. I think with Walker Yannick, the speed so far right now for a catcher has completely blown me away right now. I don't think we've seen a catcher steal this much since Biggio? I want to say Biggio's the last one. I mean, so
maybe Pudge at the beginning of his career.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about Astros wise.
Yeah, but he was an Astro too.
Well, in his twilight years, he was an Astro. I mean, doesn't really count, but yeah. So, but the thing is, obviously Walker Yannick is not going to come in and be the everyday starting catcher. You have Yainer Diaz for that. But at kind of where I'm at right now, I kind of want to pump the brakes on. Do you want Walker Yannick to come in and be a backup catcher? No. There's pros and cons of each. So, you can kind of, and again, we're 4 games in. Who knows? They could have already told him, hey, you can hit 40 home runs in spring and you're going to start off in AA. Who knows? I don't know the plan. But for the sake of the conversation, I guess him coming in as a backup, he can learn from Yainer Diaz, start to become a little bit more familiar with the pitching staff. But I think for someone like Walker Yannick, you want him to come in and, be the everyday catcher. And I just don't see that. I just don't see that happening right now with Yainer Diaz being the starting catcher. So I think he's definitely going to be that guy if he continues to trend the way he's trending right now and he continues to build on the spring he has right now. I think you're going to start hearing a lot more, chatter about, hey, this is a guy that should make your team as a backup. And it's just, because he came out of college, right? He came out of Oregon, right? So he's, 20, 23, 24 right now, maybe. So I wouldn't hate it if he came in as the backup catcher. But I would think this guy is going to be groomed to be the next starting catcher. I don't know, Bryce. What do you think?
I don't think. First of all, I agree with you. I don't think that he's going to make the opening day roster right out of camp. I think that they've got probably plans right now, at a minimum, of putting him in Sugarland. Here's the prediction I will make, though, is right now we have 2 catchers on our 40-man roster. That's Diaz and Salazar. I do think that they're going to put him on the 40-man roster before we end up breaking camp, because obviously – how many times have we had, even on our team, a 3-catcher roster. So it's like you've got to at least have 3 guys on the 40-man roster. So I think you got to at least put him on the 40-man roster unless Dana Brown has something that he's cooking right now for another backup catcher somewhere. I think that's what's going to happen. And then if he does get sent back down to Corpus Christi, I think he's going to be moving up to Sugar Land really, really quick. I don't know what our depth is necessarily behind him or in front of him between, the minors and the majors. I know we've seen a couple of the catchers down in Sugar Land, but at the same time, I mean, he's the hot guy right now. And if he's got wheels like that, trust me, he's not going to stay down very long. Chris and I were talking a little bit offline just about how it's looking really good, that it looks like we're trying to steal bases and play some small ball this year. Between him and Zach Cole, we got some young guys that are fast, that are going to go out there and actually steal bases. They're going to push these pitchers. And then you know what happens. You see something like that, and then the other team's going to make defensive errors. So if we can just get these guys in play, get them on base, and have them start stealing, then we're going to end up producing a couple of runs here and there that, we haven't really been doing in the last 5, 6, 7 years. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. But as far as Yannick is concerned, I honestly, I don't think he's going to break camp with the big league squad. I think he's either going to report to Corpus Christi, but more likely he's going to report to probably Sugar Land is what I'm thinking.
All right, real quick, PK. So right now, I would assume the 2 catchers that are going to share time in Sugar Land are going to be Carlos Perez and Colin Price. So those are going to be your 2 catchers that are ahead of him. All right, PK, go ahead.
Yeah, that's actually what I was looking up while Bryles was talking.
Sorry.
So, no, you're good. You stole my thunder. It's cool. You don't show up on Sunday and then you come in here on Thursday and you steal the thunder.
Hey, good news though. You got another 3 more episodes to completely dominate
Right.
before I come back.
And look, everyone, his real reason was because Royal Rumble was on Sunday. It's not because his voice was gone.
We watched it live. There's no need to watch it again.
But no, like I said, I think, like I said, y'all talking about him stealing bases. He stole 3 bases today. 3 bases. I really can't think of another catcher that we've had, really, honestly. And you go back to Bidge, that we've had the catcher, on the base pass doing that. I'm happy for the kid, man. Like you were last week, my cousin chimed in and talked about Will Bush down in, the other catcher, right? He was down, and I just had it up, Fayetteville, right? So you've got a couple of young catchers down in your system that, give it a couple of years, they're going to make a push. They're going to make a real hard push, and that would be right around the time that Yiner's, is going to have to be out of arbitration and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, Walker Yannick was the big thing out of today's game. You dropped the game 4-9, I think. Yeah, 4-9. Bryce Matthews got three at bats. DeZenzo got 4 bats. He went 0 for. And then a lot of just your minor league guys in. The thing I wanted to talk about, we kind of talked about it a little bit, was Miguel Uola. I think it's the second outing he's had so far, and not looking good. I don't think it's nowhere near what we anticipated seeing from him coming into the spring. So he went an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, a K, and a home run. So it's not looking good so far for him. I mean, he still has several opportunities to to get more control. Have some balls or some bats miss the ball. So something to keep an eye out for him. And then Colton Gordon, he went 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 home run. So, like I said, not a lot of offense. He scored 4. It was better than the other game against the Mets. But there's one nugget that I want to throw out there, and I don't know if you guys saw this. But the Astros so far in 4 games, we're at 4 games. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 games. The Astros are drawing 36 walks already. I mean, in game one of the spring, they drew 11 walks. And that's they lost, right? But they've gone 36 walks already. And last season they finished 26th in walks to end of last season. So you're already seeing, the fruits of this new hitting regime that's in, right? Back to the basics of plate discipline, taking pitches, seeing more pitches, right? Which in turn, you see more pitches from the pitcher. I know right now you're getting, 1 to 2 inning outings from these guys, right? But the more times you're seeing the pitches, you can start to lock in to find your pitch to go. So hopefully that walk count throughout the spring continues to increase, because that's going to be a good, stepping stone into the regular season when we get, our full squad there every day. So, so go back one more game. This is a tie. I didn't think there's tying in baseball, but there's tying in spring training. God damn it. You know what I mean?
There is. They're not going to play. They're not going to play extra innings.
No.
No free baseball for spring training.
Yeah, no free baseball. This is a Jason Alexander game. Not good for your boy there. 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 4 earned, 2 bombs, 1 K, 1 walk. We talked about it. I've asked the question to you guys before, and again, let me preface by saying this is spring training, right? But the guy, as good as he was for us in that second half of the season, it would be incredibly difficult to replicate that amount of success from him, going forward, right? Now, again, I know it's spring. I know it's very early. It was his first time out. You can write it off as it's like, okay, it was the first outing. Let's see what he does the next one. And that's probably what we need to do. Try not to overreact on spring training games, right? But it's definitely not a good start for Alex.
Except for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. So Tang got some action. That was his first.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about him too.
First debut. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, man. I mean, so Tang, that's the guy we got from San Francisco, wearing the old Lance Berkman number 17. Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
Another guy that, he can spot start. He could be another long reliever out of the bullpen. I mean, when I look at the names, I'm just so pumped with the amount of pitch and depth that we have. And I mean, like I said, and like with Jason Alexander, I mean, yeah, he got off to a rough start. It's his first spring training, as far as his first start. Miguel Uola, I mean, the book on him has always been his biggest downfall is his control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully, he'll get that under control. We'll see. I mean, but the guys I've been, pretty impressed with so far, Tang is one of them. Bryce Matthews has had a fantastic spring training so far.
Yeah.
Granted, we're 4 games in. But yeah, I mean, I just think you have to kind of just I mean, I know that right now we're a month to the day away from opening day. So all these spring training games are going to try to be magnified as much as you can, because really it's a spring training game in Florida. I mean, but just guys, relax. I mean, everybody listening, we see it on Twitter all the time. There's this one guy on Facebook, man, he's just losing his mind. I'm like, dude, it's game 4 of spring training. I'm like, relax. It'll be fine. Take a deep breath. It's like, if you can't make it through spring training, then you might as well just.
It's going to be a long season.
Yeah, might as well pick up basketball or something, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, there's been some highs. There's been some lows. There's been some guys I'm hoping to see a little bit more from. But, I mean, for the most part, I mean, again, I'm just glad there's no injury ticker that's going on with any type of major injury at this point. So, but yeah, I was, good on Tang. He looked good when he pitched.
Good. I didn't get to see him pitch, so I'm glad to hear that. And the one thing to remind you guys about spring is these guys are out here to tune up what they're doing to get into the major league season. So at the very beginning, keep in mind, these guys in the whole off season have been working with their own private coaches, most likely, and doing what the private coaches said. They get to, camp, they get in there, and then, we've got a brand new hitting regime. They've got them, tweaking a couple things here. You got our pitching staff tweaking a couple of things here. So these guys aren't going to exactly come out and just be ready to start an onslaught, from the offensive standpoint, and also, shutting everybody down from a pitching standpoint. The other thing I will point out too is if you've been to a spring training game, about mid-5th inning, you see a mass exodus from each dugout going around and back to the clubhouse. And then after that, it's a bunch of dudes that have no names on their backs, and it's anywhere from number about 60 to 99. So let me tell you, after that, it is everything breaks loose. You could have a bunch of dudes you've never heard of out there, and they string 5, 6, 7 hits together, and all of a sudden score 4 or 5 runs, or they could all strike out. You have no idea. So, even though you've got the schedule as far as the pitchers are concerned, these guys are probably trying out some new pitches. They're tinkering with a couple of things, and it's up against dudes that are out there trying to prove themselves no matter what, because they're trying to make it from the single A team to the double A team. And what are they going to do? They're going to try as hard as they possibly can. So anyway, that's for a guy out there that's freaking out on Facebook. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. This is spring training, not spring competition. So that's what they're out there doing. They're working on stuff, and they actually it's basically an entire season of scrimmages. That's what it is. So anyway,
Yeah,
that's my last note on that.
Yeah, and just because you hit 500 in spring training doesn't mean you're the next Babe Ruth. So, like, I know they're blowing up that kid from Pittsburgh. What's his name? Connor something? Is it Pittsburgh or does he play for Boston? They're blowing him up, and it's like, yeah. And it's like, man, just because he has a good spring, okay, maybe he'll be on a fast track to double A. I mean, so
yeah. I think the thing during spring, at least the way I kind of approach it is you have a handful of players that you're looking to see like what they're going to replicate from the season before, or the guys that are coming back from injury, especially pitchers in our case, right? And then so I keep an eye on those guys, and then I pick out a handful of other guys that like, let me see how this spring is going to go, right? Lo Perfito, Walker Yannick, Bryce Matthews, DeZenzo, right? He terrible injury plague season all last year. We talked about it, came in hot, got hurt, right? So like I pick out just a handful of players, and you kind of want to see their progression, right, through spring as we get close to the big league, season kicking off. So I mean, you can get into the weeds, you can get into the weeds, and you can get like Facebook guy and get, completely butthurt and, ready to quit. And like Chris said, like if you are losing your S in spring training, you got a long way to go.
You got a long
way to go.
Buddy. A long 6
But I get the passion about it. I understand it, but you just got to realize that it's spring training at this point.
It's spring training, man. Yeah, especially it's game 4. I mean, Brawls talked about the 5th inning. Hell, in these first 5 or 6 games, this is probably going to be the 3rd inning.
Yeah,
you're going to see the mass exodus.
Yeah,
now, like I said, we'll probably see it last a little bit longer. Probably. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, as we get further along in the spring training, you'll see the starters hang around a little bit more. But I'd say at least for the first 10 games, you're lucky to see these guys. You'll see guys that aren't Altuve, Correa, all those guys, but the big name guys, you'll see them maybe 2 at bats. So that could be the 3rd inning, that could be the 4th inning, and they're gone. They're done.
Well, and that's because they're getting their swings in on the backfields or in the cages, right? Or live BP in the backfield, right? They don't need the spring training game to get their live BP hacks in, right? I think like both of y'all said, the spring training is for these guys that are on the lower level ball to get more playing time, to get more,
to get on the radar.
To get on the radar. That's their goal, right? And so yeah, man. Well, let's we got a few more minutes. Let's wrap up this last game. Well, this will be the first game of the week, Tuesday. HB was on the hill. HB did HB things, right?
Yep.
In his
definitely
2 innings.
A good sign.
2 innings, 1 hit, 2 Ks. So that's what our ace did.
I like it.
Just in line for what an ace does. Right. So
yeah.
Taylor Trammell hit a home run though. He hit a bomb.
He did.
In that game.
He did. He's looked pretty good this spring too. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
I mean, your outfield's still a little wild, right? But you've got guys out there, putting some swings together. I think Cam, just to go back, Cam, I think Cam played center field this week, right? Didn't he?
Oh, okay.
I missed that.
Let me go through here quick. Yes, on Tuesday, the 6-6 tie to the Mets, he played center field. First time to ever play center field.
Well, okay.
So there you have that, right? I mean,
that's something. As of right now, I think the only outfielder that's Yeah, I think as of right now, the only outfielder that's locked in for a spot is Jake Myers. I think
Yeah.
everyone else. I mean, I know right now the inside track is Zach Cole. I mean, but like right now, like there's nobody else that's I would say guaranteed a lock right now.
Right.
I would agree with
I
that.
would agree with that. Loperfido and Smith are probably vying for that other one, right? I mean, I would say Smith might have the upper hand just from last season, but we all know what Dana Brown said over the winter, where like it's not guaranteed that right field is for Cam. They're not opposed to having him start in Sugarland, right? So he's got to prove himself, right? Come back and and that's what I was talking about earlier. Some of these guys, this is their opportunity to prove themselves, like you, Chris said, to get on the radar, and some of the guys like Cam Smith to stay on the radar so that he can stay up with the big club, right? So, plenty more games to look at. Plenty more time to freak out and overreact. The main thing, like we always say, the point of spring training is to get better and stay healthy. Break camp, ready to go to get this AL West division back where it belongs in the H, right? So I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. I believe Chris is not going to be with us on Sunday again. He has some things that he got, right?
That's right. Yeah. So I won't be here Sunday. And then after that, I'll be joining you guys live from West Palm Beach.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Not Thursday, though. Sunday. Maybe Sunday.
Chris is coming back with autographed baseballs for me and Bryle since he's going to be there. He's buying the baseballs on his own dime, so we're not providing all that.
Yeah.
But no, man.
I'll put it on the company card. I'll put it on
That's
the
right. Put it on the
Chronicles
company card. That's
I
right.
like it.
But look, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, as y'all always do, man. We really appreciate the support. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Me and Bryles will see you on Sunday evening. This is the Crawford Chronicles. I'm PK. That's Homer Chris. And that's Bryles. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Welcome.
Welcome back. They're in town this weekend, man.
Yes, sir. By the way, one of the coolest non-Astros things I saw was Chris Sale getting a katana from Mizuno for 15 years.